is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another video. We're going to talk about the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, and Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Jingling Joe Ingles. This is going to be a special team. I feel like they had to make a lot of these moves if they really wanted to be serious about winning. I feel like there was a team that we knew was going to make the playoffs. Nobody was really surprised. And if they want to make a deep run, they had to enhance their offense and enhance their players, because you only can score and really do a lot of things depending on the talent. Quinn Snyder, which I've been saying for years, and I got to start the video off giving him credit, he has done an excellent job. No matter what they have gave him, he has found ways to get the best out of his players, have found the best way to win games. This is a team that have been winning 50 games with at least one all-star caliber player or two, but none of them are literally all-stars. And they have been grinding, they have been fighting. This is a team that may not be the most exciting to watch unless the ball in Donovan Mitchell's hand, but you got to respect them. You have to give them credit, and they lock you up. And if they don't, they make it ugly and slow, and you play at their game, you play at their tempo, but they value each possession. They really are a smart basketball team. And if you really are a coach, this is a team that you really want to watch, because they really play together. They believe in each other, and they don't really get too much in hero ball unless it's really in the playoffs. And I think that's going to be solved this year too. Adding more components to the team. You adding Bogdanovich, you adding um, Mike Conley. You have a better Gobert. This is a team that was 17th in points per game with 111 a game. This was a team that was 8th in assists with 26 a game. And that was without other great ball handlers outside of Donovan Mitchell. Ricky Rubio has always been a great playmaker, but he hasn't been the offensive powerhouse that Mike Conley can really give this team and give this team another level and another dynamic. Um, Also, this was a great rebounding team. They was able to go 50 and 32 in the Western Conference. They ended up getting put out pretty quick in the playoffs just because they just don't have enough. This is a team that is a grind team. They're going to go out there and make the game ugly, but they didn't have enough to push them over the top. They didn't have enough offensively to really hurt the teams with a lot of offense and great superstar players. They had the defense, and I think Mike Conley going to add to that, being able to guard one of the hardest and deepest positions in the NBA, especially in the Western Conference, the point guard position. I think that was a smart thing to get a guy like Conley who has been in the West. He knows how tough it is. He knows how to compete against Steph. He knows how to compete against most of these point guards because he's been doing it for so many years, and he has been doing it in a similar offense where they just make it ugly, make it grindy, and really just squeeze out W's. And I think they're going to continue to do that this year. It's just that they're going to have so much better floor spacing. I think they should up the pace just a little bit. They don't got to get up and down and have a blast, but they do have to get easier buckets. And I feel like Donovan Mitchell was one of those guys that he wanted to get that first step. He wanted to come off that screen and explode. They haven't had a player like that in a while. Even Gordon Hayward was more of a smooth type of player. He got the shots he wanted. He got in the spots that he wanted, but he was never putting a lot of pressure at once on a defense. And I think Donovan Mitchell can do that. But when you have better spacing and more consistent shooting around you, it allows you to play one-on-one a lot more without the fear of getting trapped or double teamed. And if you do get trapped or double teamed, you still have Mike Conley that can create a shot, either being a spot-up shooter or off the dribble, or even just pump faking and doing a floater or making a pass to Gobert for a lob or kicking it out to the guy across the corner or at the top of the key for the three. And I think that's very important because that's something that they really couldn't do because Ricky Rubio could knock down threes and shots consistent enough, and teams sagged off of him. and dared him to score. You're not going to be able to do that against Mike Conley. He's going to add another pick and roll dynamic to this team because he can, if you go under the screen, he can hit you with a three. You go under the screen, he can use that first step just like Donovan Mitchell, get to the paint, knock down those floaters, get to the free throw line. He's a solid free throw shooter, but also he's a guy that can create his own shot even without pick and roll. And that's something that Rubio just couldn't do. But even having Bogdanovich, just another guy that can stand still and knock down threes, but can also make plays and also score a little bit. And you don't need him to score a lot because you do have Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell do the majority of the creator. But having that extra playmaker, because we know that Joe Ingles, he can pass to Gobert, he can make decent passes, simple passes, and sometimes he make the difficult pass to Gobert for the lob. And having that other ball handler to go with them just make them even harder to guard. And I feel like that's been the thing that has been stopping Utah the most. I feel like they had a lot of the small and smart things figured out. They just didn't have the elite talent to beat the Golden States and the Houston, the elite offenses that even when it gets ugly, they can hit a couple threes and be back in it. Or they can hit a couple threes and Utah just couldn't stay consistent enough offensively to carry themselves into a 48 game against a team that's just better than them. Now, they're just as good as anybody in the West. And the only reason why I say that is because they starting five may not be the most high profile guys, but you got Donovan Mitchell that averaged 24 points. You got Mike Conley that averaged over 20. Bogdanovich is coming off great years in Indiana where he had to shoulder more of the load, and you needed him to do that because the role that he's going to have on his team is only going to make his job a lot easier because he has similar talent. But you also got Gobert, and I think Gobert upped his scoring. He became Defensive Player of the Year again, and that's a guy that can do more. Setting screens, dribble handoffs. When you give him the ball and he wants to roll to the rim, some teams are going to make him make plays. But when you got Mike Conley, you got Donovan Mitchell, Bogdanovich, and Joe Ingles, those guys can make the play, make the pass, and shoot the ball, whether it's mid-range or three. And that gives them a dynamic that they haven't had because they had Favors and Rubio who couldn't space the floor and shoot. And now that they're gone, they can shoot and score with anybody when the shots are falling. And I feel like that's something that just changes the whole way we think about Utah because they played the complete opposite. And that's just going to make Donovan Mitchell so much of a better player. It's just going to make the game so much easier for him, so much smoother for him. And it's just about him taking advantage, picking his spots, getting to his spots, and knocking down shots. He has been able to do it. He hasn't never been the most efficient player, but as the game continues to slow down and as he started getting more familiarity with his team, because this is a brand new team, especially the starting lineup, I think that's going to be something that he's going to really appreciate this year. And I think this is something that they had to do to harp back on that because the NBA West got tougher. Even the worst teams got better. So they had to find a way to either become elite and put themselves in that conversation. They only won 50 games last year, and the NBA got tougher. So they had to upgrade their roster some way, and they had to find a way to make Donovan Mitchell's job a lot easier because in the playoffs, you can't really go one-man show because even with Kawhi Leonard, he started slowing down as the playoffs went on. You need people you can rely on. You need people that can do their job, and you need people that's going to step up. And I feel like they was able to get all those things checked off this off season. Only problem is, can they beat the LeBrons? Can they beat the Kawhi Leonards? That's going to be the question. Can they beat the elite players? They got an elite team. They're one of the top teams in the West. But can they beat the elite players in the NBA? That's their biggest question. When they're in a 7-game series, can they finally slow down and beat the Rockets with James Harden and Russell? Can they slow down the Lakers and score enough points, which they should be able to do now? But that's still going to be a question because we have to see it, and we haven't seen it just yet because the team hasn't played a game. So that's my what to expect. What are the Jazz? They're going to have a new culture, a new identity. They got some tough-nosed, grinded-out players, more floor space and more ball handlers, more modern offense, something that they haven't had in a while. They did the pick and roll with Darren Williams. They did the pick and roll a little bit with Donovan Mitchell, let him make plays and surround him with shooters. But now they just have another dynamic and another pieces that really make them a lot better. So I love this team. I feel like when they made these moves, I was a little shocked that they was aggressive, really trying to get the players that they wanted, made the moves early, and continue to sign and get good, solid players on this roster. Obviously, they lost some of their long-time players, but I think it's for the better. This team need to be fresher. They're going in a different direction. They got a different type of personnel, and I feel like this is the right direction that they're going in. I think that this team can be a legitimate team in the playoffs. I think they can be a legitimate team in the regular season, and I think that that's the most important thing about this team: how well they perform in the regular season, because they got the team that can beat up on good, the bad, and compete with the great. And their seeding is going to matter. Can they avoid the Clippers into the Western Conference Finals by getting a 1 or 2 seed? Can they avoid teams like Denver and Portland? I think that I can make an argument that they're even better than those teams this season, and that means they could get that 1 or 2 or 3 seed, which is going to be a lot easier for them to get to the Western Conference Finals. And to me, if they got the right defense and they got the right players stepping up, they can beat a team like the Lakers. They can beat a team like the Clippers in a 7-game series. If Donovan Mitchell continues to progress like we thought he would, he was better last year by a little bit, but he has to take his game to the next level. And I feel like Conley understands the game. He mastered the game, and he's going to be a huge piece to unlocking more of Donovan Mitchell. I think Rudy Gobert wants to be an all-star. He wants a lot more credit, and the best way to do that is to let your play talk. And he has been able to do that. Now it's about taking your game to the next level like he has did last year, but continuing to improve this year. But another thing I say is Rudy Gobert is an underrated playmaker. He makes the right play and the smart play. He don't have to dribble and shoot threes and dunk on people all the time. It's about knowing when somebody cutting, finding the right angle when somebody is open, resetting the offense when nothing is there. I feel like Gobert make the right plays. That's why I feel like he is a little underrated to certain people, because he really don't do nothing outside of dunking in them. Gobert is just a monster if you watch the games and see his impact, especially defensively. But his passing is underrated. I don't hear really nobody talking about his passing, but he knows the game and he knows what moves to make. I don't think Gobert is going to come here with this mentality of he needs to change. I just feel like he needs to continue to add small things to his game, because this isn't a center game anymore. This is a perimeter game. The perimeter players are running the league. The perimeter players are winning the titles. And I feel like Gobert, even though he wants to be all NBA first team, he just needs to do what's best for his teammates and not let everybody get in his head. You one of the best centers. You're great. And I feel like he has been a little underlooked, but he just need to continue to play his role and make the right plays, and he'll be fine. And I think that's something that Mike Conley does too. He knows how to be clutch. He knows how to get to his spots, and he knows when to defer. And that's the type of guy you want on your team, especially when you want to value your possessions and slow down the game. You really want to get a guy like Mike Conley, and he has done it and has made it far in the playoffs and competed against the best teams in the playoffs. And that's only going to help him and Donovan Mitchell and the rest of the team. And I think that this is going to be a team that either they going to be a team that people going to sleep on, or they're going to be a team that's going to make a dark horse run in the playoffs. I feel like that this team is just that good. I feel like a lot of people are respecting this team, but they're not really looking at them as a Clippers or a Laker. I think they're just as good as those teams when it comes to how they are built and how they play together and how they run their game. I'm not talking about talent-wise. Talent-wise, those teams are better. But when it comes to being on the same page and getting the best value out of the possessions and just knowing how to pick your spots and make the other team work and take them out of their game, they've been able to do that. I just feel like their offense was just so bad that it held them back a lot. And now that's not going to be a problem if the things and the players and the things work out for them the way they should. Health is going to be another thing. This team is going to have to stay healthy if they're going to try to cling on to that 1 or 2 spot if they can get it. That's going to be important, because I feel like if this team will make a dark horse run, they need to be as healthy as possible, even going into the playoffs. And we don't see Mike Conley get injured in the playoffs. We don't see him miss a lot of games in the regular season. And when you make a trade like this and you make the moves that they made in the offseason, that's something that these things have to happen for us to be able to get things done. And this is going to be an amazing year for Utah. If I'm a Utah fan, I'm very excited. I can't wait to get this season started. Donovan Mitchell is going out there putting work. helping Team USA. He look a lot more bouncier right now, and that just know he's confident. And now playing with other talented players, playing with other guys that can create their shots, playing with other guys that can space out the floor. That's only gonna help him going into this season because that's what he's gonna have on his Utah team. So he can gain some experience by playing against top level competition, and it can even help him be even better coming into this year. But also, I don't think Donovan Mitchell has to be the hero ball. Like I said before, he don't have to do like he did against Houston the last 2 years, where I got to do everything. That's no longer the Donovan Mitchell he needs to be, and I think he knows that. He did it in college, and he did it a little bit his rookie year. But I just want to see a relaxed, under control, thoughtful Donovan Mitchell. And if he does that, that might be the biggest key to how this team offense can be unlocked, and that could take them to the next level, depending on what type of Donovan Mitchell they get at the start and the end of the season. And that's the key to me. Let me know what you guys think about the Jazz. Pretenders, contenders, underrated, overrated, suck, overrated because they got so much talent but they didn't get enough, like the Clippers or Lakers? Or do you think just like me, when you look at this team, look how they play, look how they are, in the right type of series, the right type of matchups, this team could be scary in the playoffs. So don't sleep on them. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.